Today we are going to solve O-Level Physics 5054 Paper 1 Variant 2 May June 18 and questions from 1 to 20. Okay, it is O-Level Physics 5054 Paper 1 Variant 2 May June 18. Question 1. Which is a vector quantity? Option A mass of 2 kg. Option B, a temperature of minus 10 degrees centigrade. Option C, a weight of 15 Newton. Option D, an average speed of 20 meters per second. Option A, B and D, all three are scalars. Only the remaining option is option C, a weight of 15 Newton, that is a vector quantity. So our correct option is option C. Question number 2. Forces of 4 Newton and 2 Newton act at a point. Which scale diagram shows the forces that have a resultant of 4 Newton? Okay, here we have to find out where the resultant is equal to 4 Newton. Okay, first we check option D. In option D, on the right hand side there is a force of 4 Newton and on the left hand side there is a force of 2 Newton. So what will be the resultant here? Here the resultant will be 2 Newton in the direction of east, or we can say 2 Newton towards the right. So option D is not possible because it is asked the resultant force should be 4 Newton and here the resultant force is 2 Newton. Now we check option C. In option C, we have two forces, one along x-axis, second along y-axis. Along x-axis, it is 4 Newton. Along y-axis, it is 2 Newton. Now, if we calculate the resultant of these two forces by applying the Pythagoras theorem, we can say R square will be equal to 4 square plus 2 square. And by solving this one, we will get the answer 4.47 Newton. Now here, again the resultant is 4.47 Newton, which is more than what is asked. Here it is 4 Newton and the resultant in C is 4.47 Newton. So option C is also incorrect. Now we check option A. In option A, we are looking the length of the resultant force is more than the length of the resultant force in C. So definitely this resultant will be more than 4.47. So it cannot be 4 Newton. So option A is also not possible. Now the only remaining option, only possible option is option B. So we can say the resultant force of 4 Newton will be in option B. So correct option is option B. Question number 3. What is the name and value of the unit of power written as milliwatt? Okay, it is very clear that milliwatt means 10 power minus 3. So milliwatt, and it is given as 10 power minus 3 watts because in 1 watt there is 1000 milliwatts. So we can say name is milliwatt and value is 10 power minus 3 milliwatt. 10 power minus 3 watts. So option C is the correct option. Question number 4. Micrometers, meter rules, tapes and calipers are used for measuring lengths. Which row identifies the most suitable device for accurately measuring the stated length? Okay, option A, 0.15 millimeter and measuring device is micrometer. Yes, it is the correct option. Usually, micrometer is used to calculate a length that is given in millimeters. Okay, we read the other options also. Option B, 0.50 millimeter and measuring device is meter rule. Normally, meter rule is used to calculate the length in centimeters. So option B is incorrect. Option C, 0.15 millimeter and measuring device is tape. Normally, measuring tape is used to calculate the length that is more than a meter, more than 1 meter. Okay, option D, length 0.50 meter and measuring device is given caliper. Normally, the vernier calipers that we use in laboratory, it can measure a length up to 150 millimeter or up to maximum 300 millimeter. 300 millimeter means 0.3 meters. So the best option, the correct option is option A, length 0.15 millimeter and measuring device is micrometer. Question number 5. The planets in the solar system orbit the sun. Which statement is correct? Option A, there is a force on each planet away from the sun. Option B, there is a force on each planet in the direction in which it travels. Option C, there is a force on each planet opposite to the direction in which it travels. Option D, there is a force on each planet towards the sun. Option D is the correct option. There is a force on each planet towards the sun. Why? All the planets, they are moving around the sun. Moving around the sun means all the planets are moving in a circle. And when an object is moving in a circle, it is acted upon by a force that is directed towards the center of the circle. Here, in our case, all the planets are moving around the sun, so center is in the direction of sun. So we can say there is a force on all the planets that is acting on them, and it is directed toward the center of the sun, or we can say towards the sun. So our best choice, best option is option D. Correct answer is D. Next question, question number 6. Which forces act on a skydiver who is falling at a terminal velocity? Okay, terminal velocity means net resultant force on the object is zero, or we can say downward force is equal to upward force. When a skydiver is falling, there are two forces that are acting on the skydiver. One in the downward direction, that is weight of the skydiver, and one in the upward direction, that is air resistance. So we can say when the skydiver is falling with terminal velocity, it is acted upon by two forces, one air resistance and second weight of the skydiver. So option A is the correct option. Question number 7. A uniform rod of weight 5 Newton is held initially at rest. Okay, it is a rod. It is at rest. The diagram shows the forces acting on the rod when it is released. Okay, then it is released. What happens to the rod when it is released? Okay, when this rod will be released, here we are looking on the right hand side, there is a force of 3 Newton, and here on the left hand side there is a force of 2 Newton. So here the forces are unbalanced, and because of the unbalanced force, this rod will try to tilt. It will try to rotate where the force is more. So it will try to rotate in the clockwise direction. Now we read our options. What happens to the rod when it is released? Option A, it does not move. Option B, it moves to the right. Option C, it moves upward. Option D, it starts to rotate. Yes, option D is the correct option. It will start to rotate in the clockwise direction. Question number 8. A block of metal is placed on an electronic balance to record its mass. What is the unit of the reading on the electronic balance and what is the unit of weight? Okay, here we are calculating mass, and unit of mass is gram. So unit on electronic balance should be gram, and unit of weight is Newton. Now we read our options. It is given in option B. Unit on electronic balance is gram and unit of weight is Newton. So our correct option is option B. Question number 9. A body of mass 10 kg falling freely in the gravitational field close to the moon's surface has an acceleration of 1.6 meter per second square. What is the gravitational field strength on the moon? Okay, here it is given acceleration of free fall on the moon surface is 1.6 meter per second square. So acceleration of free fall is also known as gravitational field strength. So whatever be the value of acceleration, the same value will be for gravitational field strength. So option B is the correct option, that gravitational field strength on moon is equal to 1.6 Newton per kg. Question number 10. Two objects X and Y are suspended from a uniform rod pivoted at its center. The rod is in equilibrium. Okay, here we have a rod. It is a pivot from the center here, and here we have two objects. One is X and second is Y. Which statement about X and Y is correct? Option A, the mass of X is 0.4 times the mass of Y. B, the mass of X is 2.5 times the mass of Y. Option C, the mass of X is 3.5 times the mass of Y. And option D is the mass of X is equal to mass of Y. Okay, here we have to use the rule of moment. According to rule of moment, anti-clockwise moment is equal to clockwise moment. Now anti-clockwise moment will be equal to force because of this object multiplied by perpendicular distance, that is given 10 centimeter. Now here we are considering its mass m, so we can say force is equal to weight of the object. So force will be equal to W and W will be equal to m into G. Now here mass we are considering X, this is mass, this is G, acceleration due to gravity, that is given as 10 meter per second square. Now this 10 is the perpendicular distance from this object to the pivot. Now what about the clockwise moment? For the clockwise moment, here the mass for Y we have considered 1 gram. So here we have written 1 gram multiplied by G. G means acceleration due to gravity, that is equal to 10. Now this 25 is the perpendicular distance from this point to this point. So by solving this one, we will get the answer 2.5. So we can say X is 2.5 times heavier than Y, or we can say in other words that X mass of X is 2.5 times more than the mass of Y. So correct option is option B. Question number 11. A force of 1600 Newton accelerates a car of mass 800 kg from rest. What is the car's acceleration and its velocity after 4 seconds? Okay, according to Newton's second law of motion, F is given as m into a. Now here we have to calculate acceleration. Acceleration will be equal to force over mass. Force is given 1600, mass is given 800. So 1600 over 800, it will be equal to 2 meter per second square. So acceleration is given 2 meter per second square in option C and D. So we have to check C and D only, A and B are not possible now. Now for the velocity, we have studied a formula to calculate velocity, that A is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity over time. Now here acceleration we have calculated, it is equal to 2. Now here final velocity we have to calculate. Initial velocity is 0. Why 0? It is given here a force of 1600 Newton accelerates a car of mass 800 kg from rest. From rest means initial velocity is 0. Time is given 4 seconds, 4 seconds, and by solving we will get V is equal to 8 meter per second. So option D is the correct option. Acceleration 2 meter per second square and velocity is 8 meters per second. Okay, next question, question number 12. The graph shows extension load curve of 4 fibers. Which fiber is the most difficult to stretch over the range of loads shown? Okay, here we have on the x-axis there is load, on the y-axis there is extension, and here we have plotted some graph in between load and extension. It is clear from the graph that in A, the extension will be more with the applied load. Why? Because here gradient is more. So we can say with less load, it will be extend more. And this D, with the applying of load, it will be extend least or minimum. Which fiber is the most difficult to stretch? Definitely D will be most difficult to stretch because we have to apply more load to stretch this one to give extension in this fiber. So option D is the correct option. Question number 13. Four objects of equal mass rest on a table. The center of mass of each object is labeled G. Which object is the least stable? Okay, here we have four objects. This point G is marked for the center of mass. Now, what is the condition of stability? Lesser height, greater base area. If the height is less, it will be stable. If the height is more, it will be least stable or less stable. So here we are looking that height is more in this option B. So we can say in option B, the object will be least stable because here height is more. Second thing, about the base area, we are looking here base area is maximum, here base area is minimum. Again we are looking with the decrease in base area, it will be less stable. So here base area is less, here height is more, so we can say option B is the least stable. So option B is the correct answer, not C. Okay, option B is the correct answer. Question number 14. Which power station produces carbon dioxide when operating? Option A, gas-fired power station. Option B, geothermal power station. Option C, nuclear power station. Option D, wind power station. Okay, in gas-fired power station, we burn hydrocarbons. And when we burn hydrocarbons, carbon dioxide gas is produced. So option A is the correct option. Option A is the correct option, gas-fired power station. Question number 15. Work is done when a force of 400 Newton pulls a crate of weight 500 Newton at a constant speed along a ramp as shown. Okay, here we are pulling an object on a ramp. Weight of the object is 500 Newton and we are applying 400 Newton force to pull the object up on the ramp, and the distance moved is given 5 meter, and the height increase is given 3 meter. Part of the work done increases the gravitational potential energy E of the crate and the rest is work done W against friction. What are the values of E and W? Okay, first we calculate what amount of work is done in carrying the object on this ramp. Here we are applying a force of 400 Newton. The distance the object moves is 5 meter. Now the work done will be equal to force into displacement, that will be equal to 400 multiplied by 5 is equal to 2000 joules. So we can say total amount of work done is equal to 2000 joules. Now we calculate change in potential energy, change in gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy is given as mgh. Now here mg, m is for mass, g is for gravitational field strength and the product is given as weight. Now weight of the object is given 500 Newton. So we can say mg will be equal to 500. Now the height is increased 3 meter. Height is 3 meter. Now the result will be 1500 joules. So we can say potential energy is increased 1500 joules. Okay, we have work done 2000 joule, but the increase in energy is only 1500 joule. Where is the remaining energy? Where is the remaining work done? Remaining work done is done against the force of friction. So we can say work done against force of friction will be equal to 2000 minus 1500. 2000 minus 1500 is equal to 500 joules. So we can say work done against friction is 500 joules and potential energy is 1500 joules. Okay, now this E is for potential energy. Potential energy we have calculated 1500 joules. It is 1500 joules. And W is a work done against friction, that we have calculated 500 joules. So our option is option A. Correct option is A. Gravitational potential energy 1500 joules and work done against friction is 500 joules. So option A is the correct option. Question number 16. 5 blocks have the same mass but different base area. They all rest on a horizontal table. A graph is plotted to show the relationship between the pressure exerted on the table and the base area of the block. Which graph shows the relationship? Okay, here we have four graphs. Two with the straight line, this A and C with the straight line, B and D with the curve. Okay, pressure is given as force over area. Now, if all the objects are acting same force, if same force are applied on all the objects, then we can say that pressure will be inversely proportional to the base area. Okay, if we plot a graph in between two objects that are inversely proportional to each other, then the graph will be a curve. So our possible options are B and D only. A and C cannot be, because if we plot a graph in between two physical quantities that are inversely proportional to each other, the graph cannot be a straight line. It will be a straight line when two objects are directly proportional to each other. Okay, now here our possible options are B and D. Now in D, we are looking that with the increase in area, pressure will be decreased. When we move towards the right, it means here on the y-axis we have to move towards the downward direction. So we can say with the decrease in pressure, area is increasing, and it is in accordance what we have given here, that pressure is inversely proportional to area. So our correct option is option D. Next question, question number 17. The diagram shows a simple mercury barometer which height is a measure of the atmospheric pressure. It is option C, because the length of the mercury column, it represents the atmospheric pressure. So option C is the only possible option. C is the correct option. Answer is C. Question number 18. A sealed packet containing air and a snack is purchased at an airport. The sealed packet is taken on board on an aircraft. During the flight, the packet becomes larger. What caused the packet to become larger? Okay, when we are moving at the height, the outside pressure, the atmospheric pressure outside the packet is decreasing. Why decreasing? Because with the increase in height, density decreases, and with the decrease in density, atmospheric pressure decreases. So outside the packet, the pressure is less, and inside the packet, pressure is more. So it will become larger. Now we read our options. Option A, the density of the air inside the packet increases. No, density do not increase. The mass of the packet increases. It cannot be. Option C, the pressure of the air outside the packet decreases. Yes, it is the correct option. Outside the packet, pressure of air is decreased, and inside the pressure is the same pressure. It is not changed, so it will become larger. So option C is the correct option. Question number 19. A sealed container of gas is heated and the pressure inside increases. What happens to the molecules of the gas to cause this increase in pressure? Okay, we are providing some heat to a sealed container. Sealed container means volume is constant, volume is fixed. Now its pressure is increasing. Okay, we have studied in pressure law, at fixed volume, applied pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So we can say when we will increase the pressure, its temperature will be increased. One thing more we have studied, that with the increase in temperature, velocity of the molecules increases, and when the velocity of the molecule will be increased, it will hit the container more frequently. So our best option is they hit the container more frequently, because with the increase in pressure, their temperature will be increased, and with the increase in temperature, velocity of the molecules will be increased. Question number 20. Equal masses of copper and water are heated to the same temperature. As they cool down, the copper and the water lose thermal energy at the same rate. The temperature of copper falls faster. Why is this? Okay, when we cool down both copper and water, specific heat of copper and water are different. Specific heat of copper is much less than the specific heat of water. So we can say when we are cooling down, copper will be cooled down earlier because of lesser specific heat, because of smaller specific heat. Okay, now we read our options. Option A, copper has larger specific heat capacity. No. Copper has larger specific latent heat. No. Copper has smaller specific heat capacity. Yes, it is the correct option. Because of the smaller specific heat capacity, it will be cooled down earlier. Okay, today we have completed up to question number 20. Now for the remaining questions from 21 to question number 40, we will do in the next session. Okay, thank you very much.